Well, the RNG has aligned to get us this far. But this guy's pretty strong, so it's up in the air as to whether this will actually deliver us anything. We have to win, by the way. Just finding him's not enough. No, Koto, get away from him! He's not a kitty!
Kitty! Oh!
Come on. This is a Jill, by the way. They only show up in Monster Rancher 2, and as far as I know, they're never referenced outside that in the anime. And they're just these big Yeti monsters, which I actually think is kind of brilliant. Stop petting Big Hand. Get away. Use your intelligence moves. Yes! Holy crap.
Oh, no.
That's not good. And I like that you're playing aggressively, Koto, but... Oh, this is going to be such a luck sack, isn't it? I'm so glad that... You see, of all the things that I was worried about when I started this Let's Play, stuff like this was king among them. And I have to do this again, by the way, because there's another monster that's going to use very similar criterion. And unfortunately, it's a monster I actually like, so that's going to be a thing.
Undine?
Zilla.
Oh.
Thankfully, Undine doesn't really require much RNG. There's some, but not as much as you might think. Stop using that move. I miss Monster Rancher 4, where I could take moves off the attack reel. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
So, yeah. Starting to doubt that Koto's going to be able to do this. Ugh. It's a nudge you. How much is 3 HP damage? It's when the skinny girl just kind of nudges you with her ankle.
Well, as long as I know that you know, my little sisters can do 3 HP worth of damage. Oh my... Wow, that defeated her 2.5 times.
Yeah, that probably would have killed her, to be honest. So, yeah. Koto's not getting Jill. You know what?
But can her daughter get...
I was about to say, that's okay, because Koto has accomplished a lot in the span of her life that some monsters wouldn't accomplish half as much. The fact that she got Dragon was already kind of a low-wheeled miracle anyway. So I'm not unhappy with the results, I just wish I had done a better job. Because for all the people out there who want to talk about metagame, really, there's no bad monsters. Just, you know, incompetent Sneks raising them. But that's okay. We're just going to pop her in the fridge. And then we're going to use some of these fusion items. Not on Koto, but... Yeah, I'm just going to jump ahead to the magic. Alright, now that we've gotten some DNA to use... Yes. We're going to use the Dargon Tusk. This one's all to you. 100% Dragon. And since it's a secret seasoning, there's literally no ambiguity, you just get Dragon. Which, as you see, are quite powerful monsters. I believe their highest stat growths are in power and intelligence, so overall, quite the powerhouse. I have to give it a name. Well, that's obvious. And if anyone at home doesn't get this joke, you're too young to be watching my stream.
I look away for a second, then I get frog dog.
The Burninator. But we're not quite done, because I have another secret seasoning item I can use. At this rate, I'm just going to have a freezer full of pop culture references. Prospecteer is unsure, in the way that it's completely short. Yay. Man, horse, bird.
I am the semblance of your courage!
It's the monster that attacked our ranch. Centaur. It's also my first time to see it. I'll take good care of it. Dad just does not care.
Well, it's your problem now, mine.
Your problem now, not mine. I hadn't thought of a name for Centaur.
Chiron?
Alright.
I mean, that's the Centaur Sage.
Like that?
No. CH.
Oh. I totally misheard what you said.
No, not you've been talking to Clockwork too much. You got Dark Stalkers on the brain. Like that, yeah.
Alright.
He's not a alien planet collector energy being.
Let's have a look at him. Likes to play, dislikes tablet. And funny enough, even if they dislike tablet, it's still better than any other option. Pretty decent accuracy. Maybe I'll raise one of these days. But not today.
Too bad. It's what you're having for dinner.
Oh man, I don't like
pills. Eat the pills.
I mean, basically, it's still better for them than any other option. I believe that's all the fusion items that I have on hand. Some of them we haven't gotten, and some monsters just don't get them. So, the next order of business is to continue unlocking monsters. We should take a break from the expeditions and do something a little more... I don't know how to put it. Something that will bug you a bit. So we're going to jump ahead in time. Snek, since we've made the altar bigger, I'll go and clean it up. Good. I don't want the old man coming here and then blaming me for your sins.
What are you doing?
Phew. Wonder if we made it too big. Cleaning is hard work. Quack, quack. What, Joy? What? What's this? A stick. Guess I'll bring it home. Good girl, Colt. I see you're cleaning the altar. Master Pabs, take a look at this. This is... You're lucky, Colt. What is it? This is a gift from the monsters in heaven. Bring this to the lab. Something good may happen. What is it, Master? Just take it to the lab. You can use it for combining. Don't forget to keep the altar clean from now on. I won't. Wonder what this is. We'll bring it to the lab. That's how you unlock Ghost. So, Pab saying something good may happen is likely being a bit, hyperbolic. And since I haven't done a proper introduction, this is Kabuto. His name will make sense later. I'm raising him for one thing and one thing only, and also to burn a little time until the mock event is finally finished. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. He's not going to do anything particularly interesting, so we're just going to jump ahead until the relevant point in the footage. So I'll see you guys there. And it's time for another house upgrade. You know, people say, a house is a pillar of nurturing. I've literally never heard anything like that in my entire life.
Well, you know what they say. You know, it takes a village. Something. Don't burn down your house to feel it's... You kids with your rock music and your iPhones and your fax machines.
Oh dear. The closest I can think of is there's a country music song I heard once called "The House That Built Me," which was all about. Let's just move on. I learned that a long time ago. It means house plays an important role to raise up the people inside. Makes sense, doesn't it? So, you want a bigger house. You know what? I will accept this on the grounds that I get like a cool throne, like a Dracula throne, with like a little cup holder that can also hold wine glasses, so I can like swish it around and be all dramatic.
You get a stool.
No!
That's all you get.
No! This is my house! I own this land, Colt's living on it! That's not okay! You're doing pretty well. You're going to be a big figure pretty soon, aren't you? I am a big figure. I broke past the S official already. Just because I didn't break into the big 4 does not mean anything, Bento. Yeah, we'll see. By the way, I have a question, Mr. Bento. Why is it so terrifying when worms spread out their spider legs like that?
Interesting question.
Oops, let's not talk about that. That is the correct face to make to that. Just leave us. Alright, let's go, Snek. Look at this. Big, isn't it? The house is this good. You're for sure to train quality monster. Quality monsters. I see something else to finish the job this quick. Come now, you worry too much about You worry about tiny things too much. You get old too early if you continue doing that. Thanks for business. I do wonder about his job. Snek will definitely find out what's going on next time. Yeah, no, he won't. I think there's another barn upgrade, and I don't think you can even get that until I beat 2 of the big 4, I want to say.
Don't worry. It's he's got an army of Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried is the secret.
Yeah.
So, we have a little ways to go.
I was in the war,
We're not ready to take the cake out of the oven just yet, so we'll see you guys in a little.
Been a long time coming, but it finally came.
I love that that's what we started this clip with. 5th diamond. Which...
Meat.
You rapping, yes. That said, even though we have fed this thing nothing but cup jellies his entire life, we only just got the 5th diamond. I actually got the first 3 when I was raising Koto.
Well, it's actually, we've been feeding it nothing but cup jellies and also potatoes, but only when it asks for potatoes.
He asks for potatoes every time he wins a tournament, but yes. I'm also using this as a chance to build up our cash supply, since, well, a lot of these things, like the housing upgrades, you'll only pay for the one time, and you reap the benefit forever. We can get a fun can. Us and these 5 marks. Visit. You have mail. Yeah, you're not getting your fun can in 1 week. Come on. But we will get in the next week, so I'm actually just going to let him rest. Doing everything I can to keep his stress under control, since he kind of freaks out a bit. Huh, I thought we got the fun can straight away.
Ah!
It's so weird to watch him swim. Like, he doesn't really have appendages for swimming.
Yeah, he doesn't really have the right limbs for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because as I recall, like, now, you'd probably know better than I would there, Professor, but, I mean, yeah, don't bugs that swim actually have, like, fins on their limbs so that they can actually, like, get around?
It varies, because some just kind of float on the surface, like fire ants. They'll link their bodies together and just kind of bob. Some, like water skaters, they are just able to put less pressure on the surface of the water than surface tension, and thus they just don't ever sink. There are certain water spiders that can just kind of walk underwater, but they'll keep a small silk sac with them that holds a little ball of air for them. A couple of them have some different methods. Some of them do kind of have fins. Delivery for you. I wonder what it is. It's a fun can! I'm so glad I applied for this. Now, you might think, oh, well, the fun can! Yay! You got it, right? No. You actually do this twice. What's inside? So my first fun can. Gotta combine these, and... done! Here it is! Pretty cute doll, huh? What's wrong, Kabuto? You want this doll, don't you? Now, here's the thing. This is one of the weirdest items in the game, because it's like minus 50 stress plus 50 fatigue, or something really bizarre like that. So no. I'm not giving it to you. It'd be cool if you get another fun can, which is just kind of your hint. What's the doll do? Nothing. Nothing. It literally does nothing. All you can do is either feed it to your monster when it asks for it, or sell it. I have to build another one. I have to build another one, and get glue for the model kit out of the Alps. Because that's the only glue in the world, apparently.
You know, as you do.
So, I mean, upside, it sells for a bit. It's one way to help recoup the loss of buying dozens and dozens and dozens of cup jellies, I guess. We'll revisit that at a later date. For now, we're going to continue with Operation Bug Out.
You know, it's really, really silly when you ultimately see the end result, too. Because it really has nothing to do at all with jelly.
Yeah, it's just one of those oddball things. I think it's probably a Japanese thing. I forget if I talked about that in the actual video, but when it happens, I'll go more in depth as to why we're raising a worm and going through such a strange and specific process.
Oh, no, I get that. I just don't understand why well, can I spoil it?
Oh, for the doll? Yeah, that's... I don't fully understand. I wish I knew.
I don't understand why a veteran in a global war is something you get from puddings.
But yeah.
I don't know.
It is a mystery. One we'll revisit later. We'll see you guys in the next bit. And I'm back. And just as in just me and Kabuto here. Now, so what was the big deal? What have I been doing up to this point? Well, first of all, you have to be C rank or below, over 4 years, but under 5 years, and you need to be 3rd week in June. You need to make sure that his stress and fatigue are 0 or very, very close to, meaning resting is non-negotiable. Also, throughout the course of his life, I fed him pretty much exclusively cup jellies, which is why I was able to do the Duck Doll event when I was, earlier. Now, assuming nothing goes catastrophically wrong, something should happen here. Excellent. Wonderful. What? This is... I see, so this is Cocoon of Worm. That's a very strange way to phrase that, but I will accept that. Worm will make a cocoon and sometimes become a different monster. I remember reading about that in a textbook. I also tweeted about it when I was playing Monster Rancher 1 for my own personal playthrough. I got to report this to Master Pabs. This is it, Master. This is a cocoon of worm. It's a worm's cocoon, okay? It's also my first time to see the actual one. There weren't any worm around. That's true. We had to unlock worm from the emitting meat. I only saw this through the reference of Fimba, and surprised as you are. Amazing how the worm creates this big cocoon overnight. Whoa. Look, it's moving! Yes, in Monster Rancher 2, it's a bit more animated. In Monster Rancher 1, it's just a still image, and then the still image of it being broken open. You mean it's already hatching? That's a fast metamorphosis. Now, it stopped. Oh! This is... What is this monster? I don't know. I've never seen this either. I've never seen this. Never heard of this. I never heard this kind pops out. Excuse me, everyone. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that so I can post it on my Twitter feed. A new species? I guess. This has to be your poor Daima. I'll head to Aima. Take care of this monster. Yes, master. Wow, this is never expected. Got to take good care of it. Well, it's a shame that he's literally at the tail end of his life, so... hey, special tournament's happening this week? No. Kabuto's not doing anything else. I literally pushed this as close as I possibly could by raising a burner after his 4th birthday. What we have here is the new monster, Beetle. Now, he'll maintain the same stats he had from before. The difference being... Well, first off, a bunch of his attacks will change to Beetle attacks. They're roughly equivalent. I mean, not perfectly, but very close to. Now, the thing here... Beetle, if you cocoon it, only gets the lifespan the worm would have had left over. So at this point, this guy's already in his twilight. But Beetle became a series staple and essentially replaced Worm going forward. That's really cool, actually. That's why I named him Kabuto, because that is the abbreviated form of Kabutomushi, which is the Japanese rhinoceros beetle, which is why this fella has this great big huge Y-shaped horn. So, why do you have to go through all those weird steps? Why the cup jelly in particular, which is the biggest factor upon which this event will hinge? Because you can cocoon without the cup jelly, he'll just turn into something else. This is a very, very Japanese pet-keeping tradition. You see, rhinoceros and stag beetles are very popular pets in Japan, but they spend most of their lives as a larva. So, understandably, the worm acts as the larval form of Beetle. That said, the mouth part of a rhinoceros or stag beetle is designed to pierce the side of tree trunks and drink sap. If you guys ever watched Pokemon The Johto Journeys, Heracross was constantly trying to grab onto trees in order to suck sap out of them. Well, that's actually based on actual beetles. And they primarily are fed using these hobbyist cup jelly things, which they can eat with their mouth part the same way they would eat sap. And honestly, adults kept in captivity actually typically have longer lifespans than their wild cousins. Now, once you do this, and once you cocoon the actual Beetle, the species is unlocked, and you can proceed to get them without having to cocoon a worm. I was kind of rough on Kabuto. I made him a money-making monster, which is why I got so many house upgrades in the downtime. So again, I can't raise this one in particular, but he is now a new species, and the first of, presumably, if I ever get around to raising them in the future, maybe the first of many. But I like Beetlons, I think they're cool. Oh, and another animal fact for you. By weight, the rhinoceros beetle is the strongest animal on the Earth. Yes, stronger than even ants. Ants are known for carrying anywhere between 10 and 25 times their body weight. A rhinoceros beetle, with one shove of its horn, can move something 100 times heavier than its own body. Thus being the greatest physical act of strength. And I mean that singularly, because that's exhausting for them. And this is performed because insect biology basically has their circulatory system like a hydraulic system, so they can create a great deal of force for how small they are. Now, the difference is, rhinoceros and stag beetles can generate small bursts of intense power. What makes ants so spectacular is they can sustain it, and they can do it constantly without tiring out. Now, with that little biology lesson done, give you guys a second to take in the glory. And we're going to put him on ice, because, again, he's at the end of his lifespan. And if you guys want to vote for Team Beetle as a future monster, that is definitely something I'd consider doing. But for now, I'm raising a new particular pet project, and that's this fella right here. This is a rare hopper called the Frog Hopper, who I lovingly named Kerero Mitt, and props if you get both jokes at the same time. And he's going to help us unlock 2 immediately and a 3rd in the long run other monster breeds. Now, how do I do that? Well, first I gotta get into B rank. So, we have a little bit of time on our hands, because he's not quite strong enough to break that threshold. We gotta get into B rank, and then we need to a B rank or above, because if you get past that, that's fine. And then we gotta wait till winter. So I'm gonna catch up with you guys again when that time comes. As Dietaku as my witness, I deserve this. He really was my witness.
Yeah, I saw him do it.
Wait, Kuroromet has managed to fight his way to the B rank, probably before he rightfully had any business being there, and has just burrowed into the ground, literally 1 week after the tournament.
He was the Karomet King.
Karomet King, yes. Strange.
My goodness.
What happened? Kuroromet! What's that sound?
Oh, darn. He's dead.
After... You know, hoppers are really moody, and they'll actually flip you off as one of their idle animations. Ah! Yep, just out of nowhere. Kuroromet digs up a hot spring in the middle of your ranch. Stopped, but are you okay? What happened? No. You didn't excavate that, did you? We have hot springs now. Quack, quack, quack. What is it, Joy? What's this? I'll keep this for now, and I can ask the master later. Kermit, shut up. I don't know if great is the proper word to use. Great old Kuroromet, you. Snek and Colt, I heard you excavated hot springs. This is such a Japanese thing. Yes, Master Pubs. As you see, it's actually near the monster barn. It actually doesn't have a mechanical purpose. It just looks nice, I guess.
I was about to say, isn't that a thing in isn't that a thing that
is like a thing that has an actual mechanical benefit in 4?
In 4, you can get an item that kind of looks like a hot spring, and I believe it reduces stress production from training gadgets. Strange things happen. I'd like to take a dip myself. Okay, they're over there. That was a great bath. I'll visit again. Get off my property, you mooch! I'm gonna start charging admission, old man. That reminds me, Master Pabs, I found this. Like, that's how it feels. Like, this dude is just, like, showing up on my property, lecturing me about the state of the altar, and then jumping into the hot spring without so much as a, like, hey, do you mind?
You know, I just thought it occurred to me.
What's that?
So you saw the tablet from before, right?
Yes.
It looks very, very Old Testament-y. Now, I want you to consider something, if you will.
All right.
All right. Now, Master Pabs here, you know, chastised us earlier for the state of our altar, right?
Yeah.
And he shows up when we get this Ten Commandment looking tablet. Now, I'm not saying he's Moses, but he does kind of look like Moses, doesn't he?
Well, you're not wrong.
That was just what I was, you know.
That reminds me, Master Pabs, I found this at the hot springs. Do you know this? Let me see. It says, water is, or born. I wonder if we can find more information on this at the lab. That's because this is actually a thing called an Undine slate. To the lab. Thank you, Master Pabs. See you later, Snek and Colt. Let's go to the lab later. It's actually a fusion item. And what that does is, the slate will unlock the Undine, and it also quietly unlocks Niton, to quote Legend Cup, the snail monster that we've seen in a couple various tournaments. It's also one of the first steps you have to take in order to get Zilla. Unfortunately, getting Zilla is very much akin to getting Jill, in that it's a huge undertaking because it's randomness upon randomness and a very powerful boss monster waiting for you at the end of the chain. Now, Kuroromet's work is essentially done. I'm probably going to use him just as a money-making monster, and to run down the mock event, because the tree is fully grown now. I believe we're at the 7 or 8 year mark for the tree's growth. So I can just generate a Suki Suezo when that time comes, and show off the mock event as well. Until then, we're going to grind up a little bit of money, and start preparing for the next couple of phases we're going to be undertaking. And we'll see you later. And now it's time to put some of these fusion materials to good use. As I was just telling Dietaku, I'm really glad that the game doesn't ask about some of the weird things you end up having to do in this game. What do I need all these zooms for? Well, I'm gonna fuse them together with a weird stick that showed up on my monster altar. That's kosher. And no annoying 1 in 16 chance, we just get Ghost. And now he's unlocked. Yeah, it's Diet Coke Pixie. They're still terrible, and I still don't like them. Let's see. You see, people would expect that, and that's too obvious. I need to pick something...
Alright, okay.
Alright.
Ackroyd.
Ouch.
Wait, but he's not dead. That's the joke. He's a Ghostbuster, but he's not dead.
No, that's true.
You're thinking of Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis was one.
And I wouldn't do that.
I was thinking about calling it Konami because, you know, they're dead except for Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what? Well, let's do Ackroyd. It's A-Y-K-R.
I believe so.
Dietaku, I'm counting on you to guide my hand.
Okay, hold on. Let me look it up.
Yeah, it was Harold Ramis who passed away, and I should know that because I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it was really, really good.
A-Y-K...
Right?
R-O-Y-D.
Y-D. Which makes sense. He was one of the ones who spearheaded the original idea. Alright,
Just like Ghostbusters 3.
Oof. Oh, we got Ghostbusters 3. It's called Ghostbusters the Video Game.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
And it's, like, really, really, really good. And we can use that Undine slate. Here's what it looks like when I don't have the game on fast forward. I don't know if that lettering actually means anything. It kind of looks like Greek letters, but it seems random. Yeah, I'll take a screenshot of it, and Dietaku can have a look at it with his historically oriented brain.
Yes, my brain is very historic. Alright, let me look at it.
Okay, Undine slate. Yes. This can be used as a secret seasoning. This one's all up to you.
Yeah, that kind of looks like Greek, but I mean,
it's kind of small.
And Undine, who actually has one of the most touching episodes of the anime.
Okay, Snek.
Alright.
Alright. Gun to your head. The Undine episode or the Baku episode?
Don't make me choose. Those are both really, really sad, but for different reasons. Because, okay, here's, I want to give a quick breakdown of this, because I only talked about this, like, in brief in my Monster Rancher Snek talk. And, I'm kind of holding everyone here hostage anyway, by virtue of you watching the video, so... In the Undine episode, the party goes to sleep next to this lake, and the only one who wakes up and meets this mysterious water monster is Golem. And Golem's like, well, I can't go into the water, I'm made of rock, I sink, and water will break into rock and break it down, and I don't care for that much. And Undine's like, well, I think the water is beautiful, it's my home, this is literally, like, where I've lived my whole life. And it turns out Undine's actually a baddie, and she attacks the group, and the rest of the group is fighting back, but Golem won't. He promised to protect Undine, and he actually kind of holds his friends back. He's like, no, you guys shouldn't do this. And Undine is so genuinely confused by this act of sheer selfless kindness that she kind of loses her composure during the fight and ends up, like, Hare was making oil out of these nuts that were growing near the lake, and she ends up being set on fire and Golem still goes into the water to try to save her. Like, that's how devoted a friend Golem is. It's a beautiful, beautiful episode. And the Baku episode is also really sad and heart-crushing, and I talk about it a bit. It's a Season 2 episode, which generally the stakes were just higher in Season 2, because so much more was happening. It was a little less Monster of the Week formula, and this Baku is just kind of like chilling out near the ruins of this old village, and it really, really likes Genki. And it's like following him around acting like a big puppy, because Bakus are basically just like big dog monsters. And we learn that Baku is the guardian of what remains of this village because that's where his family used to live, and his previous owner looked just like Genki, and he was convinced his master had come home.
And the funny thing is, at the very end, which is kind of the twist of the episode, he sacrifices himself to save Genki, and they are like, yeah, I wonder why he did that. And then they go to where he was originally, and there's a picture of a little boy that looked just like Genki, and you, the viewer, are just going, he thought Genki was his owner.
Yep.
And this is hundreds of years later, and he had been waiting, just hoping, as a dog might, that his owner would just come back, even though this little boy was clearly had been killed.
Yep. So, the Monster Hunter anime, it's a very goofy, slapsticky series that has some real, like, moments of genuine heart and depth and warmth in it. And
just has two brothers who kill each other over a matter of honor.
Yes. As you do.
As a rock monster, sacrifice himself for a succubus woman,
Yep. Also, as you do.
Yeah, and has a weird dragon monster steal some little girl's father because, once again, as you do.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he didn't have a body at the time, so he needed somebody to help him out. It's also called the Goddess of Water. It was written on a slate reused. According to the slate, you can raise other water-related monsters as well. Hint, hint, Nighton. Take good care of it.
Snek's waifu.
Hey, easy. Really, there's only one thing that pops into my head. I think the AI or the EI spelling is prettier.
Are you asking me?
Yes, you.
Oh, I always preferred the EI spelling.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing.
But are you going to ask her to live together?
All right, everyone, everyone, race to the comment section. Tell us what that reference is to. Undine, back in the MonsterRancher.com days, Undine was generally considered one of the 3 god monsters of Monster Rancher 2, and I've actually raised quite a few to great success, so I'm generally in agreement. But
it's unfortunate this is the only game that it is a separate species, otherwise it's usually just a subtype of pixie.
Which I think is kind of nonsensical. Pixies are all about fire and lightning. Undines are all supposed to be about wind and water. So I think that's kind of thematically tone-deaf. But as you see, you're getting quite the roster of powerful frozen monsters, all of which have a great deal of potential. And we're well on our way to several others. And don't worry, we'll put some of these to good use.
Some of them.
Some. Now, the next monster I'm going after will be a follow-up to Koto, and we'll continue the expedition trend because we have a couple left that we have not gotten our hands on. We're going to come back to you guys once again when we are to that point, so I don't bore you with all the downtime. Look forward to more expeditions, more breeds to unlock, and maybe I'll defeat Zilla King and Big Hand before this LP is out. Maybe I won't, but we'll see.
Or, Snek will tear out all her hair.
Or that.